Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Quest Log. So, after all that E3 stuff and everything, we forgot to talk about Monster Hunter, and I kind of wanted to talk about this week because so I'm a big Monster Hunter fan, and as some of you that have followed it can probably guess, with the hat and everything and the podcast stuff and whatnot is so my consoles are Nintendo and PC. So I don't have any Sony consoles. I don't have any Microsoft consoles. So for me, Monster Hunter World, was kind of cool and everything. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'll pick it up on PC or whatever. But I'm really, hoping for Monster Hunter Double Cross on Switch because it's coming to Japan. So, maybe Capcom will just, port it over to North America and we'll all be hunky-dory. And then everybody gets Monster Hunter and it's cool. Then Capcom comes out and announces that it has so first it announced that it won't be localizing Monster Hunter Double Cross for Switch for North America. And then they later clarified it as they have no current plans at this time. Which functionally, means the same thing. So the fact that now it becomes, Nintendo, yeah, whatever, and we're gonna pursue in this other direction. Granted, the 3DS is still getting Monster Hunter Stories, but from what I've read, it's not at all like the Monster Hunter franchise, and that it's like turn-based combat and you're a rider instead of a hunter. So I mean, it's kind of intriguing and set in the Monster Hunter universe, but at the same time it's not what I want. And what I want is, it would have been a Monster Hunter that I could put on the TV and take with me as I go. I don't see, I don't understand Capcom's line of thinking on this. And it's kind of to the point where it soured me on whether or not I actually pick up Monster Hunter World. I don't kind of like getting burned like that. And so, yeah, I don't know. I mean, World looked cool, kind of. I think I needed to see more of it, but yeah, like the fact that, they did what they did with Double Cross. They double crossed Nintendo on Double Cross. I don't know. I would say that if you're a PS4 owner, Xbox owner, PC owner, and you find it interesting, maybe give it a shot. From what I understand, it's not really all that different than the main franchise. So if you already don't like Monster Hunter, I don't know if this is going to magically solve all of its problems for you. And it seems like that they took out a lot of the quirks that made Monster Hunter funny and awesome. So I don't know. We'll just have to see on that. I mean, let's put it this way. Thought it was cool, but I on the PC right now is I have a bunch of games that I'm trying to clear out of my Steam backlog and then work on my Nintendo games. So, if there's not a Monster Hunter coming to Nintendo, well, I got other stuff that I need to do. In between Sea of Thieves and Skull and Bones and Metroid Prime, which is coming next year, but hopefully it's coming next year. It's in development, but that's what I'm guessing is maybe holiday 2018. We are getting Metroid Return to Samus this year, so that'll be cool. For 3DS, though, not for Switch. That would have been awesome if it was for Switch. But Mario Odyssey And oh, excuse me. Oh, it's getting late. So it's been go, go, go for like the past couple of days, and just days have been dragging at work. Um, so I would, kind of put some priority over those games first before Monster Hunter. And it's a purely social game, so I'm often finding that like I'll pick up a game that's super cool and then nobody else picks it up. That's what I'm kind of running into with. It's what I ran into with Mario Kart. I ended up returning Super Bomberman and 1-2 Switch because I can never get anybody to play them. And so at least Mario Kart and to a certain extent ARMS have like single player modes that you can do. But yeah. And Minecraft has a single player mode. Has a fantastic single player mode. But those are games that are more known for multiplayer stuff. But when you can't get people to play multiplayer, it's a problem. And I have that problem with PC gaming as well. Is, my Warcraft guild is kind of dead at this point, but I've tried other guilds and I didn't really feel like I didn't feel like I fit in, and ended up leaving and just going back to my old guild. If I could, part of the issue is that I don't know if Warcraft is getting any new players. It seems to just get like returning players. So, listeners, if you're looking for a very small group of people to play Warcraft with, such as myself, feel free to shoot me a message, and because I can do guild invites. And I mean, part of the other issue is like now with cross server play and stuff like that, it's like you really don't even need to be in a guild anymore. Like, it gives you some perks, but I mean, the main point was like find your friends and stuff. And now, since you can do like cross realm parties and you can join up with friends and everything over BattleNet, it kind of diminished the role of guilds in the game, I think. So I don't know, but yeah, getting super hyped for Nerdtacular. I cannot wait. I'm so ready for a vacation, and yeah, I really can't wait. I'm looking forward to the podcaster luncheons. I ended up ponying up the money for both of them, so that'll be cool. Because I did that for CreateCon. Oh, excuse me. For CreateCon last year down in Orlando, with the VIP ticket, and that was so much fun. It was really great, like actually sitting with folks and chatting about stuff. I'm curious to see how they're gonna do seating, or if I don't know if they got a lot of people that forked over the cash for it. So we'll see. Goal is to sit with Bo Schwartz and or John Jagger. Because like sitting with Scott and Brian would be cool, but they're probably in high demand, and I mean, I don't know. Also, they at least John watched the video where we got randomly matched with them in quick match, or against them in quick match like 2 years ago, and we won. And just my reaction on like seeing them on the other side, and I couldn't believe it. I honestly couldn't believe it. Has never happened since then. And their MMR is far higher than mine is for a quick match these days. So, because I don't even really play quick match all that much anymore in Heroes of the Storm. But yeah, to sit with them or to sit with Jocelyn and Garrett or Dills. Well, I could sit with anybody, really. They're all, they all seem like wonderful folks. And it's just, I have kind of the privilege of having, briefly met some of them before, and they all seem like super wonderful folks. So yeah, looking forward to that. As for matters back here in Massachusetts, I have to replant a whole bunch of lettuce because something ate all of mine right out of the pots that I put them in. I put them in these giant, almost like flower pots, and it's probably like a woodchuck or something. Must have crawled up over the side and then just like scarfed the whole top because all the leaves are just gone. Just ate the whole thing in like one gulp. They were just little things. I don't know what kind of lettuce or greens they were, because I got what I thought was romaine and was totally not romaine. But I have those now, and obviously since they're much bigger than the variety that I bought before, I want to make sure that they're protected. So it looks like I'm going to have to set up some sort of wiring and fencing and all that stuff. Thankfully, I still have some, they're like wire trellises that I picked up at Home Depot, and they're just like circular metal rings with crossbars that then like stick into the dirt, and you just put them right over your plants. So I could put that in there, and then either put chicken wire around it or put something around it, so that way nothing gets at it. But yeah, I gotta replant all my lettuce. At least now I have what I want. So because I did pick up some romaine, and it definitely is. But yeah, it's been such a weird year at the farmers market. So I don't know. It's like I had a whole bunch of strawberry plants that came up from when I planted them last year, and a whole bunch of the berries got fell and buried, and the seeds scattered and everything. So I've got all these wild strawberries popping up in my garden. So I've been just harvesting wild strawberries out of my garden, which I don't even know if I can count them as wild strawberries because they're from my garden. It's just I didn't plant them intentionally this year. But hopefully they continue to sprout, because I would love the whole thing to be covered in there, and then to have the pots, sticking up out from in between them and stuff. Tomato plant's doing okay. I don't know if it's really grown all that much. I mean, it was a really, really cold, dark spring. And it was just kind of awful. So hoping that the weather kind of picks up. It's been super hot, compared to the rest of the spring. So hoping that plays out pretty well for the tomatoes, and I can get a nice big harvest again. Can scale it a little back from last year because it was too much. And I ended up with like big serving trays just full of tomatoes that I couldn't use. I could not use them fast enough. But yeah. So here's hoping. And yeah. So there is going to be a podcast on Saturday, although Courtney is going to be in Maine, so we're going to do the weird portable setup for her. And there will be a comic on Sunday. There will be a quest log next week. And then Nerdtacular time, and I have no idea what's going to happen. I might take some video with my phone. Maybe. Yeah, I'm hoping I can convince some people to do a voice read of just to do like, an intro for the podcast or something. What I would really love to do, if I could get everybody and then just do a whole thing. That would be great. But I also, I don't want to pester people, because they're also there to have a fun time and everything, but who knows? maybe they'd be good sports. So I think what's important is, if you're in my shoes, is, I don't necessarily think that it hurts to ask, but just be cognizant of like what the comfort level is, because we're all awkward nerds going there, and I mean it's a lot of them are podcasters for a living, but just because they're podcasters for a living and they're entertainers and everything is like, if they don't feel like it, it's not a problem. Be like, you know what, that's cool, but and hopefully that it wasn't a bother, kind of a thing. So yeah, so yeah, be back and with all sorts. There's some real juicy news this week, so we'll be back on that with the 8-Bit Adventures podcast. And with that, everyone, have fun, happy gaming, and enjoy your pie cake. Take care, everyone, and see you at the podcast.